Hey guys, it's Matthew here once again with a slightly bit more Diablo 2 content. Um, wasn't really planning on doing any more videos for Diablo 2, thought I'd wrap it up with that one neat video, but I wasn't really expecting to be playing anymore. And then I got inspired to make a Poison Nova Necro, which is something I kind of forgot about until someone brought it up, and then I was like, oh shit, yes, I would like to play one of those again, just for a bit more nostalgic purposes. So I went ahead and made a Necromancer and leveled with Bone skills up until Poison Nova. The Bone skill leveling is very smooth, and then Poison Nova takes over at level 30, and that's when we respec into it, and it's not too bad at that level. It doesn't have the best single target by any means. Once you first spec into it, and then the AoE kind of carries all the way through the game. And it does start to feel pretty smooth once you put on some of the key pieces that make the build quite a bit nicer, like the set pieces for the Necromancer specific set, Trang Ul's set, and that's kind of why I wear this undead ghoul lord guy that you can see on the screen running around or floating about. That's because of the full Trang Ul's set pieces. It's not the most ideal setup for this type of a character, but it is a pretty strong budget option that just gets you going early on and can be used until the end of time or until you pick up some of the much more powerful and expensive items around this type of a build. All in all though, it's a very fun playstyle and a very fun sort of damage type to watch damage over time, and it's just been a blast so far because as you can see, we can take on all kinds of content pretty damn cleanly. So my current run for this character, which just has a little bit of magic find, is to do the first Act 5 waypoint just for Eldritch and Shank, then go into Travinsel, and it's a very strong Travinsel character as far as I can tell anyway, because I've done quite a few runs, and this is a comparison to the old Diablo 2 with how it looks. Done quite a few runs of the Travinsel, and it has just not even come close to dying there. It's pretty thick and tanky. You do have a golem, you do have a mercenary, and from there we go into Act 4 and do a Diablo run, so All Chaos Sanctuary and Diablo. Pretty smooth for that as well, though Venom Lords are a little bit tanky. They're not poison immune, but they do have a lot of poison resist, and we do use the lower resist curse to help against anything that is poison immune, as well as the Trang Ul's set bonus of having some fire skills. Flame Wall actually carries quite a lot in the assistance against poison immune enemies. So we do this, that, cow runs on Hell, just solo for the time being. I'm trying to find a few bases, and it's pretty fun. And then a pit run, and then we rinse, repeat, and do more stuff. There's quite a bit more gear upgrades to be had. A Death Web wand, which is a very expensive item, will probably take the build to like twice as high of a height, and as you can see, you can start to get some pretty good single target in the end with your flame wall and your low resist. So I do just want to show you real quick how I've pieced this character together. So here I am with the Necromancer, level 86, toxic AF. I haven't really played him for too long, and he levels pretty quick. He's got a lot of run speed. Kind of a tanky character just because of the set I'm using. So the full set is Trang Ul's, I don't know, Trang Ul's? Maybe there's a full name for it, whatever. As you can see, quite a lot of bonuses once you put on the full thing. The main thing being +3 to skills, you get some fire mastery, and then the firewall, which gives us a bit more versatility against poison immune enemies, as well as a bunch of resists. The most important thing for this sort of set is the 3-piece that you're really going for. So ideally your character is going to have the gloves, which are very good for Poison Necro, the belt, and then the shield, because the shield gives you -25 to enemy poison res as a 3-piece bonus. So without this, it's not really too big a deal. You just don't have these 2 pieces and you wear something really cool like a bramble rune word and a shako or whatever else you want, and then you still have a very, very thick character because that 3-piece will still be in effect. But I'm enjoying using the full set. It's all pretty cheap, like each item is about a lem rune, not even like up to Pul maybe for some, but not even that. It's usually just about a lem rune. It does have the what some people are calling a bug that reduces your cast speed by a lot. Now I'm not sure if it's a bug or strictly a feature of becoming this ghoul lord type dude, but when you do go into this, your cast speed does get worse, and it's a bit of an adjustment in your playstyle, but it doesn't really seem to matter too much for Poison Necro because you just need to get 1 or 2 casts out every now and again, and you're not like really relying on your cast speed. One of the added benefits though of this thing is that, as you can see, you usually lose your defensive stats and your block when you are running, but this character can go into walk mode and still have full movement speed and thus full defenses. So that is something that you can do. You can build into full block if you really want, and then be a bit thicker while still maintaining full movement speed. The one downside to this I've noticed is that your mercenary is then based off of like run walking, so he's based off of walking, and he gets stuck a lot if you're in the full walk mode. So I personally don't actually use it that often and do prefer to always run and have no defenses, so whatever. But as you can see, the chest on the full bonus also gives you damage reduced by 25, so it does make you a bit tankier, a lot of resists, can build into that max block, and you can be pretty thick, I think, anyway. Rest of the gear, pretty simple. Faster cast rate ring, some war tribes for some MF. Picked up just a +2 Seraph's Hymn, so +2 Necro skills would be better with some MF or something. And then you can shop in Drognan, Act 2, and just reset over and over again to try and get a +5 or a +6 Poison Nova wand. But I only just then picked one of these up. Before that I was using a Spirit, which is a bit less damage but a bit more comfortable playstyle, and the ultimate sort of thing is either a white wand that starts out with +3 Poison Nova and then using the white rune word, or a Death Web, which is going to be the most expensive part of the character if you go deep on it, but very worthwhile. It's extremely powerful. Do have a Necro Torch, just crappy one, picked up whatever, and then some Poison and Bone Skill charms and a Geed's Fortune. My current Nova damage is 8k. It's almost enough to one-tap the cows in hell without needing to cast your lower resist, but we do of course have the lower resist, so that any enemies that need it, anyone that's going to be a bit thicker, or anything that has poison immunity on it, does get a bit more of a boost against them. So the spec I've got is just go into lower resist for 1 point, maximum poison dagger, poison explosion, and then poison nova. Grab bone armor for 1 point. We max out corpse explosion just for a lot of extra radius, and then that helps you kill poison immunities or just really large packs in general. And then I summon just a golem, and the clay golem slows enemies, so that's why we use him, and then all the way through to the masteries and just bonuses for the clay golem. That's about it, I think. You can notice that guy does have a sort of animation around him anytime you do anything, any sort of action taken has that happening, and that's what he looks like, and that's what he used to look like. So yeah, not too much else to say really. The mercenary, actually, I have put on treachery, a Tails mask, and trying to make an obedience from an ethereal weapon. Haven't yet picked one up, otherwise I was using an insight up until like a level ago, so an insight is good as well. And that becomes the playstyle. Use a Poison Nova, have a Bone Shield, keep your golem alive, and use some flame walls whenever necessary for some extra fiery goodness. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little Diablo 2 Poison Nova Necro tutorial. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.